What up, my friends, and welcome back. I'm your official voice of youth and high school sports, Chad Ricardo. My main man, Chandler Richards, is in the background. Today, though, we got a very special guest in the building. This is five-star student athlete from IMG, Tyler Booker, offensive lineman, defensive lineman in the class of 22. Tyler, thank you for joining us here, bro. Thank you for rolling with us.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me. It's an honor to be a part of the show.
I mentioned the fact that you're a five-star student athlete. That is a major accomplishment in and of itself. I know that that is something that you just recently earned, was that star. I know how important this is, how much it means. What did that feel like to you when you saw that you had earned that fifth star?
It felt great. I feel like I worked as hard. Let me let me regroup. I worked alongside five stars, so I knew what it took when I was at IMG and even when I was at Bergen Catholic. I worked up against five-star type of athletes, so I took little bits and pieces of their game and added it to my game. So I knew even if the rankings didn't say so, I knew I was a five-star player in heart.
That's what's up, bro. Shout out to 247, my main man Rusty Mansell, and the rest of the 247 crew. Not only are you a five-star student athlete, you are also ranked the number one offensive tackle in the nation. Big ups to you for that. You
Appreciate it.
attend IMG like we talked about. How does attending there and practicing against some of the best student athletes in the country, how does that help you in your growth and development?
It really helps me a lot because going at it with guys like Josh Griffiths, JT Ellis, DeMonte Capehart, um, Warren Brinson, going up against high caliber guys like that. When game time came, it was pretty much a piece of cake, excluding 3 games because I was going up against heavy hitters like that all week long, and I feel like IMG had the best defense in the country. So being able to go against my teammates like that on a day-to-day basis really prepared me for what I was going to see on Fridays and Saturdays.
Iron sharpens iron. I had an opportunity to see you all in person for the first time myself last year when you came up and put it on my home team, St. John's at St.
Yes,
John's.
sir.
But I'll forgive you for that because you're a good young man. Check this out. Presently nearing 30 offers. You're going to get up close to 40, 50 offers by the time that it's all said and done. Obviously, we have an opportunity to speak to a ton of student athletes. The recruiting game, it's got ebbs and flows to it. What have you loved thus far about the recruitment process, and what are you not so fond of?
um, I feel like I the thing I love the most is just being able to learn about these schools. It's just not just talking to them, even though that's an honor. I dreamt of going to most of these schools that are recruiting me so heavily, and just to be able to learn about the program, learn things that you wouldn't know just as a regular spectator, being able to get sort of the inside scoop on some of the universities, and just also just being able to know the coaching staff personally as well.
And what about things that you may not love, if anything?
I can only pick one school. I feel like that's a good
Okay.
answer. It's a bittersweet thing because I'm building so many strong relationships with these coaches, but I know I'm gonna have to tell most of them I won't be attending their school.
It's a great answer, bro. There are going to be a ton of schools that are disappointed when you get to the point in which you make that decision. So we're in a very interesting point in time in life. Of course, we're in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. You being at IMG, I know that your situation may not be the same as many student athletes. A lot of guys are working out from home. They're working with with water coolers and lifting things around the house. What has the coronavirus pandemic been like for you thus far?
Well, when I was at home, I had to become really creative. So I was one of those guys throwing around lawn chairs with my hips through pillows in my backyard. So being at IMG is really just a blessing in itself, but especially in a time like this, knowing that guys aren't able to go to gyms, aren't able to have the proper equipment to continue to work out and better their game. So just being back is a blessing in itself.
That's what's up. I tell you what, next time you see him, say what up to Brian Griffin. Again, he's a
Yes, sir.
DMV guy. It's my good friend. Be sure to say what up to him for me. I'm gonna
Most
ask you
definitely.
a difficult question because again, you are a young man who expresses himself very well. You've got an excellent head on your shoulders. So I'm gonna ask you this. There are states, regions all over the country that in the midst of the pandemic right now are shutting down and or at least pushing back their football programs until December, some until February, etc., until we get a hold on this. In your opinion, should we be playing football right now? Is it that football gives so much to the country that we should be doing it, or should we be playing it safe?
I feel like before we are athletes, we are students, and being students, we are people. So I feel like we should just do whatever is best for us as people. Obviously, football is a business. Let's be real. Football is a business. People want football. Football football really runs the world. If you think about it, college football and the NFL are key contributors in running this country. And so, but there won't be players if all of us get the virus. So I feel like we should just listen to what the CDC says and just do whatever's best for the players first and foremost. Because without the players, there are no universities, there are no NFL teams, there are no IMG academies. So we should just do whatever's best for the players.
Very well spoken, young man. I'll get you out of here on this. Obviously, you are someone who has been successful on the field. Just listening to you, you can tell that you are successful off of the field as well. Whom is it that if you had an opportunity to thank for all of your success, who would you like to say that you appreciate that has helped you get to this point?
God, honestly, I like to thank God for giving me the parents that He has given me, giving me the family that He has given me, and just putting things into motion that only He can do. So I like to thank God, obviously, but like I said before, my parents for always guiding me in the right direction, just instilling things into me that I wouldn't have known if it weren't for them, and just putting me in the right position to be able to be great. And all the sacrifices that they make, I also like to thank my siblings because I know what it feels like to sit through my long football games, sit through the rain during my games, just my family in general.
Well, Tyler Booker, I tell you what, bro, I've interviewed a ton of student athletes in my years. You are hands down one of, if not the most impressive. Thank you very much for rolling
Thank
with
you.
us.
No problem.
We're good. Awesome.